Part 8, here we go. So now we're going to use Search Atlas to optimize our website for our client. So you're going to go to searchatlas.com and sign up for the subscription. But let me show you all of the features that Search Atlas has that optimizes everything so you can get SEO done within a matter of a few weeks, as opposed to several months or even years, and you can catch up with your client's competitors relatively quickly. So when you sign up, the subscription basic one is $99, and then for every additional project that you add, which is another domain, the price reduces. So the second one I added, for example, was $86 before they asked me to upgrade my plan. So once you get your account, come over here to the left, projects, and you're going to type in your client domain over here. So for example, if I was to do this for sarasotapro.com, I would type it here and then hit search. It would actually go through and start searching for that domain. And it shows up all of the results. Now this is a terrible domain because everything is zeros across the top. And what you can do is leverage this as a business opportunity as well. Do this for some of the domains that you find within Google for your local businesses. Do up a search on them. Once you have an account, you can do this unlimited, and then go over here and export that as a report. And then send that to the business saying, hey, this is what you look like on Google today. Why don't you let me help you out? And that would be a nice little lead in with value in order to build some relationships with them and then ultimately get them as a client. So that'll give you a starting point of your client. And if you do sign up that client, then you can come over here and actually add them as one of your projects. So click on add a website, enter their domain, hit continue, and then it's going to ask you how many pages you want to crawl. If it's a relatively large domain, you can increase this all the way up to 10,000. But most websites are only going to be about 10 to 20 pages. So just start there. Let's say 18 and then continue. And then for me, the quota is exhausted. It wants me to upgrade to the next higher tier. I'm not going to do that here because I've learned you can now integrate this through HighLevel, and that's how I'm going to do every new domain. But let me show you the features of this. Once you add the domain, for example, you're going to get these features in HighLevel as well. So the first thing you do is you come over here to the next tab, and we're going to work our way down the left side. The first one is auto and audit. This is probably the best tool that they have, and it's a flagship feature of Search Atlas, where once you have the domain added, you can see the health, the auto grader, which is you need to be closer to 100, and then how much content you have or what your content is worth. You want this to be at 100 as well. The authority, meaning LLMs will now reference your website in order to share data. The technicals of how does your website function, all of your alt tags, links, and so on, and then your user experience signals. You want to continuously strive to increase these numbers. And then you can see I have my Google products integrated as well. So let me click on this and show you auto. When you jump into auto, you'll see a dashboard. In here, you want to see your grader to get closer to 100 as possible. And then you have these 4 pillars that we talked about earlier: content, authority, technicals, and UX signals. You want to work toward increasing those. And auto claims that they've saved me $20,000 so far. And then if auto is engaged, you'll have it here greened, and I'll show you how to do that as well. And then it gives you homework, which is tasks for this week. So one by one, you have to make sure that all of these circles over here are green and maxed out. So let's go to page titles, click on that, and it brings you here. Now I have my original title of this post that looked like this. You can see the length is 87, and it says it should have been 60 characters or less. So instead of typing my own, I can ask AI to do this by hitting auto generate, or I can edit it specifically if I want a very specific keyword in there. Most of the time, just go with auto and then say deployed titles. And you can see both of them have deployed, which means on my website, they've automatically updated. So now you can go do this to each of the remaining and make sure they're maxed out like this, 121 out of 121. Now we'll do the same thing for the meta description. Same thing here, length is too long, and here's the recommended length. Go ahead and deploy, and now they're both deployed. So before, where it would take hours to go find these, figure out the problem, update them manually, publish your website, now with auto, it's just one click. Now, in order to get auto onto your website, you're going to come over here, auto settings, click on that, and then first set up your auto settings themselves. The AI model that you want in the back end, OpenAI is good enough. You can certainly change it to Anthropic if you like. Language, if you want to enforce particular types of branding. And then down here, make sure this is enabled. So it's set up to autopilot where you don't have to do anything. It just does it by itself. You let auto run every 7 days. So it's going to go to your website, scan everything top to bottom, identify title tags, meta descriptions, and so on all the way through. And you can set it to how many of your quota you want to allot to each one of these sections. Now you get 1,000 quota with your monthly membership. So what I do is I distribute them accordingly across all of the sections. So 100 each for these and 100 for these two, and that equals 1,000. Now I'm not doing these other ones, for example, topical maps and GBP optimization. One, because topical maps, Search Atlas does not have a way to directly post blogs to HighLevel. So I'm having to do that in a semi-automatic fashion these days. And then Google Business Profile, I have Search Atlas actually make the post in the beginning. So I'm not expecting any SEO type problems with those blogs. I also am not doing cloud stacks or press releasing, meaning that sending out articles to other news agencies or distribution sites. And then the dynamic indexing I'm doing myself through Google Search Console. Down here, your user agent is going to have the permissions in order to make those crawls within your website, how often you're going to crawl, so once a week is adequate, and then the number of pages on your site. You'll get a feel for how many pages you have on your site. I just keep it at 200 because I know I have blogs coming out every single day, which tends to add pages to the website. The crawl speed, I keep it at 1 per second, which is adequate for an automation like this. I do turn on respect robots.txt, which is a file that web developers will keep in the root directory of the website, telling crawlers, like Search Atlas in this case, what pages are off limits. I don't have any off limit pages, but if you had, for example, patient data or any kind of sensitive information on your website, you could put what pages to avoid in your robots.txt and then tell your crawler to respect the robots.txt so it doesn't flag anything from a compliance standpoint. So just leave that on, and then you don't need to worry about JavaScript rendering, leave that disabled, and then update settings. That's setting up your auto, but then you actually have to install a tag on your website, similar to how we did for Google. This time allows Search Atlas to actually make changes on your website without your input. So go over to auto installation, and you can see that I'm already engaged over here. These instructions are going to tell you to do 2 steps. The first thing is you're going to grab your pixel, which is this, hit copy, and now you have all of this information. When you paste this into the header of your website, that is what allows Search Atlas to go update your website automatically. So we grab this by hitting copy 1 time, then come over to HighLevel, go into your sub account, All Day Electric for me, go down to sites, go up to websites over here, click on your website, go over to settings, and then in here where it says head tracking code, that's where we're going to paste this. So just grab this, make the window nice and big, and then just scroll all the way to the bottom, go to the last row, hit shift, enter a couple of times, give yourself some space, and then control V for pasting. Make sure you have the first part, which usually starts with script and ends with script as well. This is known as JavaScript. If you paste it from here to here, it doesn't really matter what order or anything like that, just hit paste. Once it's in there, go down and hit save, and then you're good to go. Then come back to Search Atlas. You've now completed step 2, and that's it. There's going to be a verify button over here. Go ahead and click that 1 time, and it's going to verify if your pixel is set up correctly. Click on Run Diagnostics, and you can see mine is deployed correctly. So correct installation method and duplicate installation check as well, because you don't want to add that pixel in multiple locations of your website. So if you get green over here, you're good to go. Now let's go back and see some other cool features. The next one is auto pay-per-click, which is if you're running ads. Go over to content, which is the next one. And in here, let's focus on one area, which is this topical maps. These topical maps is going to allow you to build blogs that are focused on a particular keyword. So let me click on that, and you're going to come to this page, click create topical map. Go ahead and create a folder, pick your pillar page URL, which is going to be most likely your HighLevel domain, and then the target keyword you're going for. So for an electrician, it might be electricians near me, or it might be top electrician in city. Language is English. And then over here is the important piece. You're going to pick a cluster because you want one keyword that you're targeting here, and you're going to build a cluster for it. The long tail keyword are the longer words that fit under your keyword. So if I want to be the top electrician in Sarasota, I might have other long tail keywords that say something like what to look for in a good electrician, and then how to search for the best electricians in your city. These are long tail keywords that are going to be nested under your top electrician in Sarasota keyword. And then you tell the AI to pick titles, and you can see that each one is going to be a multiple of this. So if there's 5 long tails and I want 3 titles, it's 5 times 3, and that gives me 15 total articles. Once you're comfortable with the number of articles that you want, hit create and continue. When you hit continue, it's going to bring you to this page, and then you can go over here and say view topical map. Now over here, you can see what it's created. So what I asked for was top electrician in Sarasota, and it's created the keywords under that, which is emergency electrical services. Under that, it's created another sub keyword, emergency electrician services Sarasota. And then under that, it's created 6 blog titles. And now each one of these, you need to write a blog on. So what I do is I copy all of these blog titles, I plug them into an LLM and say, create me a blog for this title. And I give it one by one. And then I create an image for that blog as well. And then in HighLevel, I go to that blog page for the website, and then I paste the blog. I have a dedicated video that walks through blogging. I'll go ahead and link it to the end of this video. but that's how you can come up with really nice titled blog names. This is a way to increase your visibility on Google and then ultimately LLMs down the road. Let's move on to site metrics. In here, you'll have your project saved. Go ahead and click view. And then you can see a dashboard of all of the metrics for All Day Electric Sarasota. So your brand signal, your AI overviews, backlinks. This is the number of other websites that have your links for your website. This helps search engine optimization when other websites are referring people to your website. You can accomplish this by doing guest blog posting on somebody else's website, or going to a forum like Reddit and talking about your website and making sure your URL is within your forum discussion. And then you can see things like the keywords that you're ranking for and how it's moved over the last week, and then traffic, other keywords. And then we took over this account, rather created it about 3 months ago. So you want to see a steady increase from the time you take over to the present. You can also see the traffic patterns of where your visitors are coming from. You can see your keyword positions. And so if you can follow along, in June, for example, we were ranking for 4 keywords, and these were the positions. We had 3 keywords within 50 to 100, and then we had 1 keyword that was 20 to 50, meaning that we were the 50th item on a search result month. You want to increase that number. So for July, we increased it to 10 total, and then now we actually had a number 1 between 4 to 10. So basically as best as the top 4th position in a Google search. Those are phenomenal results for a brand new website that just started in a busy industry like electrical services. The following month in August, we were now ranking for 17 keywords, and we had 1 keyword in the top 3, 1 in 21 to 50. And then last month, we had 1 in the top 3 and 3 in 21 and 50. And so you want to keep progressing these numbers. It's very difficult to rank number 1 unless it's like your own business name, which is likely the scenario here. But you want to be within the top 5 if you can make it there, because then customers are looking at you, and then you match that with high Google review stars as well, and then you're going to get a lot of business. Search Atlas gives you a ton of metrics that you can go into. I really like that. You can spend days within this alone. And if you want to focus your niche specifically on reputation and just sell Search Atlas, that's a viable business all by itself. Let's go over to keywords here on the left. And then what you can do is, if you don't want to focus on just your website, you can just look for keywords in general. For example, if you're looking to start a business and you want to know what people are looking for, this is called market research. You could search for example, Dubai chocolate, which is really popular these days, and then see how many people in your city are still searching for Dubai chocolate. Let's do a quick side quest and see. So here are the results. There are 860,000 searches per month for Dubai chocolate. So if you had an e-commerce store where you just sold one thing, you could start trying to rank for that particular keyword and then try to win some of that traffic over. So apparently these are still popular. Let's go back to keywords. Instead of searching for chocolate, let's go over here and take a look at keyword. So these are the 6 keywords that we're trying to rank All Day Electric for. And you can see that the search intent is whether customers are looking to make a transaction with your website, like if you sell something, or if it's informational or commercial. And based on that, electrical repairs, the search volume for that particular month is 22,000 people that are searching for the words electrical repairs. And competitor pressure is how many other competitors are within this space. So the higher the number, the more difficult it is. And then the cost per click, meaning if we were running ads, it could cost as high as $26 per click to try to win that lead. And then the level of difficulty. How hard is it? The higher, the more difficult. And then the last time it was updated. And then let's go over here to Google Business Profile. And these are the metrics for our Google Business Profile. Let's click on View Project. And here's our dashboard. So our overall score is 74. We want this to be closer to 100, where we rank on average on Google across all of our keywords. The citation score, where there are references to our website or our business across other websites. Rating on Google, the number of reviews that we have, and then the posts. And we have posts posting automatically to our Google Business Profile. And I'm going to show you how we can do that automatically as well. Next, we have 46 posts you can see. And what we do is we have Search Atlas post these automatically to our Google Business Profile. Click on this, and then you'll toggle this on. And now what's going to happen is on our Google Business Profile, you're going to see a post automatically appear every single day. Let me show you what that looks like. Go to business.google.com. And if you have a Google Business Profile for your client, click on post. And then these are all the posts that came through. And you can see that one just posted an hour ago. Click on the post and you can see what it looks like. It's got a picture, it's got a post. What this does is it tells Google that your profile is live and well and that you should continue to recommend our business. Let's go over here to local SEO heat maps. Over here, you can import your Google Business Profile by clicking on this. Mine is already here. If you do it correctly, it'll show up in this list. Hit click view. And then in here, it's going to tell you how you're ranking locally within your city. So for example, if somebody searches for the exact name of the company, it shows up as number 1. That's great, but most likely people aren't searching for your exact company name unless your company name is very close to a keyword. If you name your company Electricians Near Me, then people are going to search for electricians near me, and Google's going to recommend your company because your name is exactly the keyword. That's a clever hack. If you haven't started your company yet, consider that. But then these other numbers are the lower the better. So 6.8 is somewhat decent. The 20s and the 19s, that's terrible. That's going to be on the next page. But slowly over time, day after day, week after week, you want these numbers to go down and down and down. And you do that by effective blogging, posting, keywords, backlinks, and so on. And R is just not rated, which means they need work. Let's click on All Day Electrician down here, just as an example. Click on View, and then this opens. This is the heat map that we're talking about. So the business is located right here, and then around that business, the residents that are searching on Google, this is how it's represented for them. Around the downtown area, they're ranked pretty high, 1 and 2, but then around here, they're ranked much lower, meaning people are probably not calling us from this particular area of town. And you can pull a report just for this and share it with your client as well. Maybe you share it every month, and it shows that these reds are turning into oranges, which are turning into green, and ultimately you want all of them to be green. And then speaking of reports, let's go back here to Report Builder on the left, and you'll have your account down here. So go ahead and click View Report, and then it generates a nice fresh report for you. So it gives you an executive summary up top of the key takeaways and the next steps, which is great for busy business owners that just want the facts and then move on. Down here, it shows you a before and after. So before we were at 0%, now we're at 62%. We had 0 issues fixed, and now we fixed 1,100 issues, and so on. Shows them your Google Analytics, which is new users coming to your website, engaged sessions, the number of views. All of this is good metric data. And here are some more areas, and it gives you this comprehensive report that you can export and send to your client by coming over here to download and then also to share. And then what you can also do is configure this report if you want to be very particular, and then also send the report to your client automatically. For that, you come over here to configure report, and then you can see all of these areas are now editable. So on the left, you can toggle on and off which areas you want within your report. And then if you come over to the next tab, scheduled emails, put in the emails of your client or your own company, and then get emails on a frequency that you decide. And then let's go down here to authority building, and you can create a press release. Click on that. This is helpful if you have just taken over a website and you want to make an immediate splash. You come over here, go through all of these steps to fill out a press release. And then when you get to the last channel, you'll have the opportunity to pay for your press release to go to hundreds of sites out there automatically. Now, Search Atlas claims that these other sites that they have are reputable sites with high authority numbers, and you can filter off of those authority numbers as well. So what I did was just came over here, filled out this form, and then picked the highest authority websites out there, and then paid, I think, $200 to paste this press release across all of those major sites. And then it actually gives you the links to those articles that you can go verify as well. And that made a really nice change right from the first week. So that's Search Atlas in a nutshell. And now let me tell you how you can integrate this with HighLevel instantly. Come back over to HighLevel, go into your sub account, and then go down to sites on the left side here, and then go up to this beta SEO, search engine optimization. Click on that, and then you can sign up right here, activate SEO for $97 a month. Search Atlas and HighLevel have made a partnership that allows anybody that has a domain and your website hosted on HighLevel to integrate with Search Atlas directly. And this saves a lot of time by not having to do that auto pixel tag setup and so on. And you get most of the features that Search Atlas has already. You still may have to go to Search Atlas to do certain things. I'm not entirely sure of the breakdown, but ultimately this would make your life so much easier if you just went ahead and do it straight from HighLevel. So those are a few ways to immediately get ahead of your nearest competitors and really impress your clients from week 1. And if your optimization is good, the next thing you can do is focus on ad campaigns and customer acquisition. And I'm going to set that up in the next video in order to acquire clients for your new agency. Stay tuned. If you want to try your hand at doing this yourself instead of just watching, you can use my HighLevel affiliate link in the description below. If you use that, you get an extended 30-day HighLevel trial, hundreds of pre-built AI agents, access to my Skool community, 40+ business and marketing courses that I've built. You'll have all of my website template that you've seen me create. I'll even hop on a live Zoom call with you twice a week to help guide you and build your business with you. You'll have a direct line to me and also a chance to join my agency and run some of these businesses that I have, as well as take on my client. Hope to see you soon. Thank you.